Peace community, welcome to Esoteric Sessions. If you are new, welcome. And if you are returning, welcome back. Gratitude for each of you tuning in and joining me on this esoteric journey. Today is Friday, or shall I say, Venus's Day, March 14th, 2025. And this will be a mini cosmic session to align with today's energy. Before I begin, I would love to give a few reminders when tapping into these sessions. Please keep in mind to only take what resonates and leave the rest behind. These sessions are timeless, so keep in mind that readings can be reflective of past, present, or future timelines. Energy is fluid and change is constant, not permanent. So remember that free will is always an option. Lastly, remember that these sessions consist of sacred, ancient practices that are to be used as guidance tools and utilized for the highest good of intention. Let's begin today's session. All right, so now that I have my intro out of the way for my general reading sessions, and I'm not really sure what kind of session this will be. I honestly just want to tap into the collective cosmic energy at this moment. As you all may know, we are currently experiencing a full moon in the sign of Virgo. But not only is it just a full moon, we are also in the influence of a total lunar eclipse in the sign of Virgo as well. So I think that's very beautiful. And I wanted to, tap in and see what kind of energy and messages would like to come through for the collective, or even if it's for specific individuals. Wow, look at that. Mercury is retrograding, and it began retrograding actually today on Friday, at the time of this recording. And also there's a full moon once again at the time of this recording as well. And we are also under the influences of what we just, experienced cosmically, which was the total lunar eclipse. And I believe it happened last night, if I'm not mistaken. But it was very powerful. And I myself felt a shift last night into this rising when I started my day. And it was a positive shift that I felt energetically speaking. So I just wanted to share that. But yeah, I'm here today because I felt guided to come on air and to just do like a little mini tap in session with the collective. So only take what resonates and leave the rest. But before I do begin, I do want to let you all know that you may hear me shuffling in real time. I have a couple of tarot decks along with some oracles to give, more guided messages towards the end or either the beginning, just to give a theme of what this message is, and it'll also give you further confirmation, those of you that are listening. But yeah, I hope that you all have had a beautiful Friday and that, going into your weekend, I hope you enjoy it, whether you're spending time with yourself, loved ones, or just simply relaxing. I hope that you all are well. Alrighty. There's a lot that's going on. While I'm shuffling, I'm going to talk about the cosmic transits. Furthermore, I do want to say that I did schedule a video um, it's scheduled to be out tomorrow at 10:10. and the rising. So if you feel guided to watch that, or if it shows up on your algorithm, there may be something for you in that video. If you feel, like I said, once again, if you feel guided to, tap into the March Madness session that I did. And I pretty much talked about, the shifts that are currently taking place at this time and how those transits are, intertwining with us here on planet Earth. And yeah, I just wanted to give my perspective on the transits and give aspects on what I feel that it means, on an intuitive level, and just what I was receiving, just naturally, in regards to what I have knowledge on when it comes to the transits and the planets specifically. So, yeah, if you feel guided, check that video out. But in this moment, I'm now shuffling the Oracle deck. But in this moment, I do want to take the time to just talk about some of the things that I did mention and, how it may tie into this generalized reading, with this session. I called it March Madness because there's a lot of shifts that are intense that are happening. And it is a time that is, right now we're in the season of Pisces specifically, which is associated with the element of water. And when I think about water, I think about flow, but I also think about intensity as well. And I just think about fluidity. I think about all things that water would associate with. And, into the other half of the month, which is Aries season, which Aries associates with the element of fire. So it's like a spark, a new start, a, fresh new beginning. It's like we're beginning a new season essentially. Spring is on the brink of getting ready to take place. So I just feel like there's a lot of things taking place in the month of March that it's going to take us on a bit of a ride, a cosmic ride at this time. And I'm grateful to be a part of this journey and experience, life in this way. And yeah, I wanted to mention that I talked a lot about it, and I'm really curious to see how it'll show up because we also experience a full moon. And in this session, I do want to see what energies will come through with all that's transpiring cosmically within the collective as well. And I just want to see what story these cards and messages and energies will tell. So let's go ahead and tap into it. I want to take a moment to be in prayer and show gratitude for, showing up in this way. I'm so grateful and I'm so thankful. And I ask that only the messages of the highest good and the highest intention come through at this time. May my God, the divine, protect me and guide me as I channel this energy, and also protect those who are viewing as well. Let's go ahead and begin. I'm just going to take a few moments before I do begin this session. All right, so I took a few moments to just sit in silence before I did begin. And now I'm going to go ahead. So, the bottom of the deck with the one of the decks that I'll be using is the Nine of Cups. So, there's an energy definitely around our emotions at this time. I feel like there's an energy around our cups filling up in essence, especially with the energy of the Nine of Cups. And Nine of Cups, I have seen myself, and I also intuitively feel this as well. It's associated with water energy, of course. That's Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio energy. But for me, whenever I see the Nine of Cups, I always think about Pisces energy. And we are in Pisces season. So let me go ahead and continue. When I was meditating, also, I kept seeing someone towards the end solitude when I was sitting in silence, and it's like they were sitting in silence as well, and this was more so like a very calm energy. So, if that is something that resonates with you, you may have something in this session for you, and things may already begin to resonate. Like you may resonate with this energy that I'm speaking of. And if it's not you specifically sitting in silence, this energy just may be around you in this moment, an energy of calmness. Alrighty, so I didn't get a good look. I didn't get a good look at the other deck that I was using, but I'm going to go ahead and start shuffling. And what I want to know is who is this reading for, and what is currently influencing you at this moment? Okay. So that is what I want to know. Who is this reading for? And what is currently influencing you in this moment? Wow. Talk about beautiful energy that's already coming through in this reading. We have the Empress energy. So, whoever you are in this moment, this is for someone. You'll know if it's for you with the things that I'll say. It'll only be confirmation for you, as you may have already felt these things intuitively on your journey before you even came across this reading. But you are someone that is in an energy of receiving things. You could be very in tune with your feminine, and you can also be in tune with your masculine, but there's a heightened energy around you being very balanced, very loving, very caring. You could be an energy, or carry the energy of someone who is very much, you sit, from a space of confidence. You sit from a space of calmness. And wow, I spoke about calmness in the beginning, and it's coming through just with this energy alone. But you're being influenced at this time. If you're not already embodying the things that I just spoke about, what's influencing you as well at this time is that energy of ease, that energy of flow. And when I see the Empress energy, I think of all those things that I'm saying. So, whoever you are at this time, you are in the energy of the Empress, and you're being influenced by this energy as well. And like I said, if not, this is the energy that's around you at this time. Some of you, I feel like you have a lot of beautiful things coming towards you at this time. You could have really been in moments where you've been trying to overcome situations that, could have really broken your heart. And these could be things from the past, but I'm just looking through the images that I'm seeing that come after. But I'm seeing that you're having the courage and the confidence to create from whatever this was that you came, out of. And you have a lot of beautiful things coming towards you through that experience or through those experiences. Alrighty. It's currently influencing. Wow. Okay, so the Nine of Cups. So, when it comes to what's going on outside of you, just like I said, who is this message for? For someone who is essentially an empress or in the energy of an empress. And that is just an energy of creativity, of receiving, of, being very nurturing, and if not being nurtured, being very balanced and in tune with yourself as a feminine. And, like I said again, if you're not embodying this energy in the now, that's what's, currently influencing you at this time. And, that is currently and energy that is surrounding you at this time. And just to clarify what I was saying intuitively with what I was getting, just off sitting with this card, the Nine of Cups has come out again, and this is a different deck. So I feel like, whoever you are really, really, really being influenced. And, I want to share something cosmically to connect these two cards more in depth with what I'm getting intuitively. The Nine of Cups is the energy that is currently influencing you, and it's at play at this time, but it's happening outside of you. So things that make you feel emotionally fulfilled, things that make you feel content, things that make you feel like you've had all of your wishes granted. That is the energy that is at play in the now for you. And once again, I said that, the Nine of Cups is associated with the water elements, and water represents, in the zodiac aspect, Cancer, Pisces, and Scorpio energies. But for me, as someone that reads energy intuitively, I always think about Pisces energy because it does just make more sense to me, especially when it talks about wishes being granted. For me, Pisces is very dreamy, it's very imaginative, and it's very creative. And whenever I think about that energy that Pisces bring, and I see the Nine of Cups and all the energy that it represents, I can only, not only, but I think of Pisces, most as a priority over this card. But neither here nor there. We are currently in Pisces season. So for this card to show up, as outside forces at play, definitely in agreement with that. As we are in that season and we're energetically being cosmically influenced by the energy of the sign of Pisces, a very dreamy, imaginative, and creative energy. And it's very sultry and it's spiritual as well. And I just feel like these are the forces that are at play outside of you, just like I stated beforehand. This is very beautiful of a reading. Wow. Oh my goodness. So I didn't even look at the bottom of the deck when the Nine of Cups came out specifically. And that just gave me more of a reminder to add on to, okay, we're in Pisces season with that card being associated, the Nine of Cups, with Pisces energy. Venus is currently retrograding, and Venus is the planet of love, and it is the planet of romance. It is the planet of how we balance these things, right? Fairness, justice, sensuality, creativity, and etc. And the fact that it's retrograding in the sign of Pisces, I feel like cosmically, the universe, the divine, most high, is really doing a thing when it comes to synchronizing and harmonizing, the energies around you at this time so that you will feel emotionally fulfilled, you will feel emotionally balanced. I feel like there's an energy around things balancing for you emotionally as well, especially if you've gone through something heavy. But, with that energy of of Venus and Pisces and the themes that they both bring and the way they interact with one another, Venus and Pisces to me gives Rihanna and ASAP Rocky. It's very beautiful energy, but back to, just to connect everything that I was saying. At the bottom of the deck, you all, like for whoever you are in this moment, you are being beautifully influenced. We have the star at the bottom of the deck, and the star represents hope, wishes being granted, right? It also represents healing and recognition and attention. And I feel like you are being given cosmic attention in this moment. And I say that because you have the Empress, you have the Nine of Cups, bottom of the deck, the Star. And that is connected to the energy of Aquarius. And I just think that this is really divine in regards to this message. So let me continue. I love when that happens. Okay. So the most likely outcome with this energy that I'm seeing here, I see transformation. I see transition. And I mean, like this being a major theme, for you. I feel like if you were an individual that could have been praying for things to like end that were just, unbearable, or you feel like to a degree you even were experiencing like suffering, or, you just had moments where you were really processing through a lot of the things that you've gone through. Well, I'm here to tell you the outcome of everything that I'm seeing here is, a transformation. The death card wanted to come out, and no, I don't associate it with anything gory, or anything, trying to fearmonger in that aspect. It's all about perception. And with the energies that are sharing space with the cards that I've already pulled, I don't get a gruesome, feeling intuitively from this being the outcome. What I see is transformation, and I see transition when it comes to something major in your reality or your life necessarily, at this time in your life being a really big theme. Wow. And the bottom of the deck, confirmation for big things. When I see major arcanas and it's known, within the community sacredly and spiritually, that when we see major arcanas in the deck, it has more of a potent message. It's more associated with major themes in our life. And the judgment card is at the bottom of the deck. Wow. I didn't even want to look behind that, but behind the judgment card is the lovers, and with that is the Ace of Cups, the Ten of Cups. Oh my goodness, with the King of Wands. This is a beautiful, beautiful session. So, for whoever you are in this moment, you are definitely, in an energy of receiving at this time on your journey. And you're being influenced to embody that. Like I said, if you're not embodying that in this moment, you're definitely being influenced because you have forces at play that are really here for you. I see nothing but a positive ripple effect of one thing after another. Like you can't get no better than being in the Empress energy to the Nine of Cups. And I also feel like there's an energy of you self-preserving. Let me know if that resonates with someone. I just felt guided to say that. So I'm gonna go ahead and put this deck down here and I'm gonna take a deep dive. Well, not necessarily a deep, deep dive. I'm really gonna clarify these energies that came out. So let's see what this Empress is talking about. Okay. Now, what I'm getting for some of you at this time, you could be balancing a lot of things, juggling a lot of things at this time, in the physical realm. I feel like if you are coming, especially if you just now embarking on this path, and I don't mean just now, but if you are getting in a space where you're now in receiving mode, you're balanced, you're more in tune with your feminine, I feel like there's an energy around you going back and forth. And I don't mean like you're confused or anything of that nature. It's like a balance here that's being created. Some of you could be collaborating and working on things behind the scenes. and really guarding what it is that you are manifesting. Okay. So tell me more about this Nine of Cups. Okay, so we have the Queen of Cups. Yeah, you are definitely being influenced by this Pisces energy. There's a lot of emphasis around water. I don't know if you've been upping your water, if you've been having a thing with water, if you just, it's just something really dominant about water and the color blue as well. Some of you could live near the sea. I'm also seeing that. You could also be one that sees rainbows or has excuse me, has seen a rainbow recently. I just heard sitting pretty. Some of you are really embodying, this feminine energy, being in a very balanced, in tune with your intuition. I feel like there's a lot of things being heightened for you at this moment. That's something that's coming through. Possibly some of you could be going through crown chakra activations in this moment. Excuse me. And there's also, could be something here about things you could be saying. I don't know if some of you are, and once again, excuse me again, just out of the blue. Let me actually take a sip. Okay. But I get this energy of you all just being there's an energy of calm, throughout this reading. There's not like a force of like you being anxious. Some of you could be really in a state of relaxation at this time as I'm saying this, but this is something that I'm getting. So, hmm, okay. I mean, what about this outcome when it comes to transitions and transformations? Okay, wow. So I believe I did say something to the extent of an ending or endings. Like something is definitely coming to an ending, and I feel like it was connected to what I shared about what this transition and what the death card essentially might mean for the outcome in this general reading specifically. And I was stating that I didn't necessarily feel anything, like gruesome associated with it. I just really feel like for some of you, if you had gone through like a really heavy period or heavy moments and you could have asked and prayed for things to come to an ending, I really see that happening here for you. Like something is coming to an end. And I say that for confirmation when I clarify the death card. The 10 of swords wanted to come out, and if you know what this card associates with, it associates with endings. And necessarily, specifically speaking, painful endings coming to or something painful coming to an ending. Let me just say that that's what this can speak of. You could have really had moments where there were multiple things that took place and you have been feeling it throughout this entire journey. But there's really a message around things that could have been painful coming to an ending for you. Like there's a transition and a transformation that's taking place. And what's also pretty cool is something that I'm getting right now while I'm looking at both of these cards. And it's the fact that the death card associates with Scorpio energy and Scorpio energy is energy that is part ruled by the planet of Mars and Pluto. And Pluto for me is a planet of power, a planet of, transition, transformation. And I also associated, well, not associated with, let me continue. It also associates with endings, death, and rebirth and regeneration, as it is associated with the sexual organs. And our sexual organs are what contributes to the regeneration and the life cycle of creating, new and things of that nature. And then with the things that I just mentioned, I also associate Pluto energy with eclipse themes because, in a sense, it is eclipsing things out. There's an ending, there's a shift, there's a wiping out of something really shifting and eclipsing essentially out of our lives in order to shift us into our purpose, or, pivot us on our, but in a faded, more destined way. And because it's something that plays out. It's a theme, and it's a series of things that are major in our lives when these transits take place. So to see this come up in this way is just more confirmation for whoever this session is for. And I think this is really beautiful energy. So I'm not going to be really long with this message because honestly, I didn't have intentions on coming on air um tonight. I was gonna wait again to do it tomorrow, but you know what? I said, you know what? Let me go ahead and push this content out. And it's already, the night of the full moon. These transits are still happening. We are still under the energy influence of the total lunar eclipse that just happened. So I said, why not? Let's see what's going to be illuminated at this time, what messages want to come through. And I'm actually happy that I did this for you all. So for whoever this message is for, it may not resonate with everybody. It may just be just one person, essentially. Okay. Mm, okay. So a total of 3 cards wanted to come out. And honestly, I was only, thinking or guiding or trying to decide if I'm being guided to only choose one of these oracle cards, or will I read all 3 of them. And, this is just to close things out for this session and to further give guidance for those of you who may seek it. Okay. So the cards that came out first, and I'm just gonna say them as they came out in order. So we have the Ankh, and we have the Great Aneed. And forgive me if I'm mispronouncing, but I feel like I'm pronouncing it correctly. We have the Great Aneed, and we have Utterance. Now I'm going to read them all just to, give a scope and a better view over the oracle energy, because the oracles for me give more of a, I don't know, it's just more potent for me because there's so many things that can come through using an oracle. And yeah, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the Ankh. So the key terms that associate with this oracle are immortality, opportunity, and protection. The Ankh is an ancient symbol of immortality. To the Egyptians, it represented the life force of physical existence in the afterlife. Its power was thought to be everlasting, with the loop at the top representing the portal into the spirit realms and the duat. It was frequently used as a symbol of protection, being painted onto sarcophagi, oh God, I might be mispronouncing, and tomb walls, or worn as an amulet. Even today, some people choose to wear an ankh as a lucky charm. or as a link with African ancestors and heritage. To the Egyptians, the Ankh was known as the key of life, and it was a symbol of eternity. When the Unk card comes up in a spread, it indicates that you will soon hold the key to your personal power, which could mean anything from a special talent you have to a new qualification. The meaning behind this card is clear. The way is open and you are free to forge ahead. Doors that have remained shut against you can now be opened, leading to new opportunities and new life experiences. As a symbol of protection, the Ankh card offers reassurance that you are safe to follow your dreams. Doors will swing wide and welcome for you, and new ventures are likely to be successful. Wow. So, just like I was stating in regards to you being in this energy of the Empress, right? Receiving things and just getting your wishes granted, feeling emotionally fulfilled. Like you have a lot of things influencing you and forces that are outplay. I mean, that are outplay, but that are at play that are really helping you, I feel like, in a very positive way. And God is really orchestrating the divine at this time to really show up for you in universal, cosmic, beautiful ways. So let me continue with the second card that wanted to come out, and they all came out. Like at first, I thought it was just one with the Ankh, but I noticed it was three. And for me, three is very sacred to me. So I said, you know what? Why not? Let's go ahead and give it to those that may seek it. And who knows, it may lead to further confirmation. Alrighty, so we have the great and need. This card associates with collaboration. Wow, I mentioned collaboration, teamwork, and unity. The Great Aeneid was the representation of the nine principal deities of the pantheon, also known as the nine gods of Heliopolis. Forgive me if I mispronounce this. They were Atum Ra, Osiris, Isis, Nephthys. I might have mispronounced this as well. Set, Nut, Tefnut, Geb or Geb, and Shu. The number nine is said to be a very powerful number, representing the collective power of three times three. And in numerology, it signifies wisdom through experience. When the Great Aeneid card shows up in one of your spreads, it is highlighting the need for collaboration and teamwork. It indicates that you have undertaken something which you cannot achieve or complete alone. You will need assistance and support. This card suggests that you build up a network of friends, family, colleagues, and professional services so that you have support available to you when you need it. The Great Aeneid also speaks of unity. So if there has been some discord in your circle recently, know that this will soon be resolved and unity will be restored. Independence has its place, but you also need to know when it is time to be a team player. No man is an island, and this card suggests that now is the time to seek help and to build a strong circle of support around yourself. This card could also indicate that you will soon be called upon to support another. Wow, and speaking of that support, when I just spoke about the forces outside that are at play, I feel like they're supporting you in a cosmic divine way. So let me go ahead and continue with the last card, which speaks of utterance and it associates with charm, power, and progress. So the utterances played a vital role in the Book of the Dead because without them, the deceased would not have the correct spells to pass through the 12 gates of Duat and arrive at their judgment. Therefore, it was essential that they knew exactly what to say and when to say it. Without these spoken spells, they would be unlikely to reach their judgment or the afterlife. In a card reading, utterance stands for your communication, including your self talk. This card comes to remind you that all words have power. You can harm or you can heal simply by the things you say. Words are charms of communication. Used wisely, they can help you to progress through life, but used spitefully or without due consideration, they can impede that progress and hold you back. This is especially true of your self talk and how you communicate with yourself. Keep your internal dialogue as positive as possible. Likewise, think before you speak to others. Make a considered response rather than a swift retort. By all means, speak up for yourself, but do so politely. Weigh up your words before you speak them and consider the impact they will have and what the consequences of this impact might be. Choose your words wisely. Now, with that energy, coming out, I don't necessarily take it for you all to a certain degree. Now, some of you, it may resonate with some of the things that I mentioned in the utterance card. The numbers 7 could be of significance, and this could have been when you could have been in your moment of introspection and um, reflection. You could have had moments where you've spoken to yourself at certain levels, and that could have been something that could have influenced you, been going on outside of you. Maybe you had individuals, utter things to you that were outside of you and were never really a part of you. That's something that I'm getting to. So, with that being said, the numbers that came out on the oracles, the numbers 2, the numbers 1, and the numbers 7 were of significance. Now, throughout this reading in this session, I kept seeing the number 9 a lot of times. And yeah, I would say, um, I didn't really see a lot of synchronicities throughout this reading, but the number 3 stood out along with the number 13, which breaks down to a number 4, and 4 represents stability. There was an energy around Scorpio energy as well as Taurus and Libra energy, which connects to the Empress energy. And if none of those zodiacs resonate with you, you could have them in your birth chart placements, or either your big four. And what I mean by that is either your sun, moon, rising, or Venus placement signs. Or if, like I said, if these signs don't resonate at all, it could just be reflective of the energies of these signs specifically. These energies could be influencing you, or you could just be simply experiencing these things at this time. So, yeah, without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and bring this session to an ending. For those of you that took a listen, I hope you all have enjoyed, and I hope that it resonates with who it needs to resonate with. And until next time, loves, peace.